Samantha from Samantha Designs. I'm starting today's card out with these 3 pieces of cardstock, this lovely bunny, and a sentiment from that same set. It says Spellbinders from March of last year. It says good friends are great gifts. And then I'm going to use this scallop Sizzix die as well. And then I've got a couple of pieces of pattern paper. This piece of pattern paper, I used some double-sided Couture Creations adhesive to attach 2 pieces of the pattern paper, and then I have another piece I'm going to be using as well from this Recollections cardstock. So let's get started. So on the card base, I am scoring at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches on each side, which is going to leave me with a little space in the middle where the stamp design is going to go. So I'm going to fold and burnish all of my scoring. Now the 2 outside ones really needs to be a valley fold, so I'm bending them the other way as well, because then it makes this little bay window looking area. And then I'm going to cut down my pattern paper. To give you the measurements that you're going to need, you're going to need 2 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 4 inches, and 1 piece is 2 1/4 by 4 inches. Later, I'm going to add some on the side, which is also going to be 2 pieces of 1 1/4 by 4 inches, but you'll see me come to that. Alright, once I got all of that set up, I'm going to start layering it on my cardstock with a little bit of tape runner. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Samantha. I make paper crafting videos, some other videos occasionally as well, mostly card making, but I'll throw in an odd different kind of video here and there. I hope you will think about subscribing, give me a like, comments. I love hearing from folks, and I'm starting to see a few new subscribers, so that's really exciting, and I hope you will think about subscribing. Okay, now I'm going to make the base part that's going to go on the pattern paper that's going to have my little stamp scene. That is 2 by 3 3/4. And then I'm using my dies and I'm going to start cutting out all the pieces. The bunny's going to be blue. I am going to use some white for the little scalloped border, and I'm going to cut out 3 of those because I want to build that up a little bit, because it is an easel card. So when I make easel cards, I like to have a little bit of a stopper, and so that piece is going to be my stopper piece. And then the bunny is coming out of the blue pattern paper, which is kind of a mottled looking paper. And then I'm using, there's a bunny and nose and also the cheek piece that's also included in this kit, and I'm taking that out of the pink. Okay, I'm going to layer up my pieces of scalloped cardstock, and I'm going to put that aside and let that dry, because it does take a little bit, and I like when the glue is dry, it's easier to cut, and I actually end up cutting a little too soon. You'll see me do that. I make mistakes all the time. Alright, so here's some China blue, I think. I can't remember the name of it, of the dress lock side, and I'm using a Lawn Fawn stencil to make some clouds at the top of my little panel. And I see where my bunny is, and I decided, okay, I want to add a little bit of grass. So this kit also has some little blades of grass, and I'm going to use some Distress Oxide to also stamp that. And most people don't use Distress Oxide to stamp, but I thought it looked fine. I'm putting my bunny back in place so I can get the right placement for my sentiment, and then I'm going to use my favorite Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm going to put that right in that right hand upper corner because that just seems like the perfect place for that sentiment. And again, this is good friends are a great gift. I love that sentiment. I think that's one of my favorite things about the Spellbinders kits when I was subscribing last year, is they really have some different sentiments, and I like that. Alright, so I'm going to put my bunny in place with just a little bit of tape runner, and then we're going to have to work on getting all these little pieces put in place. And for that, I'm going to use my Elmer's Bond wet glue here. It's craft bond. I love that stuff. And I'm just going to do a little bit of die cut inlay. This is really simple. I think the hardest part of this is just keeping up with the little pieces, because I don't know about you, but little pieces of anything gets lost on my desk, and then I'm struggling trying to find them. But yeah, I'm just going to layer the pink pieces of the ears in place just to give it a little bit of character. Let that dry, and then I'm going to use some double-sided adhesive on one side that I'm going to put the card together, because this is going to be the top part of the card. I am just going to fold these over, and I did not get it lined up, and I struggled with this a little bit. I probably should have used the corner of my stamping platform or something to try to get this lined up, and I probably would have had a better. So I carefully peeled it up and then added some wet glue and then tried one more time. And the second time around it worked much, much better. So I'm glad I did that. So you might want to use wet glue for this as well. I'm just letting you know so you have that wiggle time. Okay, and then here is my little scallop piece. I am going to cut this down and make sure I know where I want it to go. And I put it flush with the right hand side of the inside part of the card, because again, this is going to be the little catch for the easel card. And because it wasn't quite dry, it did not cut as well. I should have let it dry just a little bit longer, but I was being impatient because I wanted to get this card done. I'm going to use some tape runner this time around and get this kind of set in place. And then there is my final card. Almost. Okay. Now I got to add the panel. Oh, this is where I decided I needed those other two pieces. So this is the 1/4 inch by 4 inches I was talking about. You need two of those, and that's just for each little side. I thought I don't know, I thought it was a little too plain. So I just added a little bit of tape to this, double-sided tape, and then added that on each side. And then once I did that, I was like, okay, now it looks finished. It looks polished. I like the way it looked. And then now I was trying to add my bunny with his little cute self up there. And that's going to finish the card, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next month with another design team project.